Hands up, all the Jack Black fans. I'm not with you. All that chaotic, forced shtick, it's exhausting and just untidy. Support roles, like in High Fidelity, yeah, great, small doses. But in lead roles, most of the time, he's like a naughty teenager, and I see enough of those on public transport. But I do love movies that blur the lines between reality and fiction. The more they do that, and the more they keep me guessing, is this bit real, is this bit not real, the closer I lean towards the screen. And in this film, we get to do a lot of leaning with a smart and snappy blend of fact and fiction. And for once, a wonderfully restrained and imaginative Jack Black. He's really good in this film. Add to the mix Shirley MacLaine and a whole chorus of town gossips, and invite this fella in to brighten up your life. And your death. Meet Bernie! Richard Linklater, one of those newsworthy directors after Boyhood was suddenly ballyhooed all over the place in early 2015, but in between waiting for his cast to grow facial hair so he could shoot some more monosyllabic teenage angst, he helmed this delightful piece of dark comedy. From the beginning scenes in which Bernie heads a demonstration on how to prepare a body for an appropriate presentation at a funeral, I was hooked. It has a macabre wit and ballsy manifesto to go all the way into territory guaranteed to upset half of Middle America and pretty much middle anywhere else. Bernie is a recent arrival in the small East Texas town of Carthage. He is accomplished in his work, he's meticulously groomed, always well-spoken, congenial, patient, generous, a regular churchgoer, and despite not being a true-blood Texan, he's embraced by the local community as if he might almost be one of their own. How do we know he's so loved? Well, the townsfolk simply tell us. Very early in the film, Linklater introduces his chorus of approval and disapproval in the form of real townsfolk telling us, or at least a documentary film crew, exactly what they think of Bernie. Or are they talking to a documentary film crew? Are they really townsfolk? This was the lean forward part for me. I couldn't figure out if these people were the real McCoys or not. You see them bearing their boundless wisdom and insights in an interview, but then later they start appearing in what are clearly scripted, rehearsed and choreographed scenes with the recognisable actors, the cast members. I'm still not sure if half the cast are actors playing townsfolk or the townsfolk playing actors, and I've seen the film 3 times. Bernie befriends an ageing and very wealthy widow, Mrs. Nugent, played by Shirley MacLaine, who is, well, let's say she's not the sweetheart of Carthage. She's a grumpy old gal with a mile-wide mean streak, and our community chorus tell us exactly what they think of her. MacLaine is devilishly good. She's so cold, so deadpan, so manipulative, and so far away from the kooky and bubbly characters of her youth. In the last 20 years, Shirley MacLaine's really reinvented herself as an actor with roles like this and the 2005 film In Her Shoes. It's great to see someone still delivering the goods and still evolving as a performer in her 80s. Her scenes, unfortunately, are rather brief. Well, she dies. I'm not giving anything away there. That was in the trailer and it's on the back of the DVD box, okay? What happens is her demands on an always eager and ready to please Bernie become just too great. He loses his cool when she oversteps the mark one day, and he shoots her and hides her in a chest freezer. Well, it's a natural reaction. Bernie continues to live high on Mrs. Nugent's money, or rather he allows other people to live in an elevated manner. He gives the money away to the needy while continuing to live in a very modest house of his own, a sort of granny killing Robin Hood, all the while making it appear that Mrs. N is still alive and kicking, and since no one really liked her, no one much cares that she's not around. This is great territory for black comedy, but what's even more bizarre, it's all true. Director Linklater even attended Bernie's trial and knew the real prosecutor, Danny Buck Davidson, a courtroom cowboy with a cool confidence and a quick tongue, played here by Matthew McConaughey. At least I could spot him as an actor and sit back for a moment. A turning point of the drama is when the trial is moved from the town of Carthage to another town. And why? Well, it was felt by the legal system and by Buck that even though Bernie had admitted to the murder, a local jury just might let him off because he was so nice. As Linklater said in an interview, it just proves that life is a lot like high school. If you're popular, you get away with stuff. And if people don't like you, you're kind of screwed no matter what happens. Our criminal justice system is a pretty arbitrary thing, based on emotions. So Danny Buck was able to take advantage of that once he moved the trial, which, by the way, no one's ever heard of. I've followed this case for 12 or 13 years now, and I've asked every DA, lawyer, judge, everyone I come across, and nobody has ever heard of a trial being moved because the defendant was too well liked. LInklater had access to court records and first-hand interviews with townsfolk and other eyewitnesses. So at the script writing stage, with so much material on the page that was real, the project could almost have been a documentary. LInklater dismissed that idea, didn't want to go that way, and the result is this, well, is it a dramatised comedy? Is it a mockumentary? You'll just have to decide for yourself. In advance of filming, LInklater and Jack Black even met the real Bernie in jail for Black to get a little more insight into the manner of the man. Well, he has definitely embellished Bernie with some distinctive manners. Was Bernie gay? Surely such a good church-going man as Bernie couldn't be that way. Maybe he just hadn't met the right girl. And again, the Carthage chorus let us know exactly what they absolutely know Bernie is or is not. Whether you see Bernie the man as guilty, innocent, or just a mild-mannered and misunderstood undertaker, Bernie the movie is a little less complex. It's 99 minutes of genre-bending chuckles, absolutely guaranteed. So, was Bernie deserving of the life in prison sentence he ultimately received? Proving that life is indeed stranger than fiction, 2015 sees Bernie out of prison but back in court to be retried. Even prosecutor Danny Buck Davidson, who pushed to convict Bernie in 1999, says he believes Bernie deserves to be convicted of second-degree murder, which carries only a maximum 20-year sentence. So, how y'all feeling about a sequel? End.